Welcome back, team. In this particular project, we got a problem, right? With that problem, we changed our architecture a bit. What's the change? The change is we were unable to launch a database in the same region. So that was the problem. That's why we launched the database in another region, which is nearby paired region, which is Hong Kong. So for OK, at that particular moment, I mentioned you, if your application want to connect, and now the app service is a public component only so far. If you want to make a connection from your app service to the database, because the app service is a public component, your database is sitting inside a virtual network, which is impossible. So to make this particular connection possible, you need to have a Vnet integration team. That's a line. But we have not seen what is Vnet integration at all. Don't worry, we'll see that. And also the front door is the one which is connected to the app service, and the primary and the secondary are the one exactly we just brought up. Alright. And we have the Singapore region Vnet where the VM being deployed, right? This part you already aware. Okay, team. So to continue this one, now what exactly we need to do after deploying an application from our Azure DEVOPS services. Okay, after deploying an application from Azure DEVOPS services, let me draw the Azure DEVOPS services quickly here, so that you can get this diagram complete understanding from this diagram. Okay, let me draw that one, team. Let me draw that one. Just give me a second. So what exactly we are doing, especially in making use of Azure DevOps. So that is the line exactly I'm just giving here. Okay. So as usual, you know that those are the first thing is Azure Repos. Azure Repos followed by Azure Build Pipeline, right? Those are the things already aware, right? Build pipelines followed by release pipelines, right? This is a common thing which you already aware. Sorry. Okay. All right. So now this particular release pipeline is responsible to just deploy that particular application into the app service, right? So that is where exactly we started our journey. All right. And at the same time, the same release pipeline is responsible to deploy an application into your secondary also, right? Correct, right? In the secondary also, I think that same one is responsible. Okay, that is primary if you consider, and this would be the secondary one. Okay, secondary one. So this one also needs to be done by the same. Okay, all right. So the primary and the secondary, these two are the two stages which we are deploying by using the release pipeline, and the connection to this particular release pipeline is same. So you'll connect the Azure Repos to this one, and Azure Build Pipeline will be connected to the release pipeline. This is as usual thing, team. Okay, there is no change at all. Okay, this is as usual thing. Okay, all right. So far good. So this is what exactly the DevOps model we are using here, right? Okay. Now, once you are done with this one, team, so I'm just keeping this one. I'm just raising a size a bit, so that you will get a complete view. Okay. I'm just keeping 125. Okay, so that is the one exactly you are using. Okay, all right. So once you are done with this thing, team. Okay, once you are done with this thing, I think so far our understanding is good. Okay, so far our understanding is good. So this is the one exactly we can think about. Okay, all right. So now, team, once you are done with this particular part, okay, now we deployed already yesterday. We already deployed the case. If you recall, team, we already deployed our deployments into this one. That's really good. So now, what exactly we need to continue, I will tell. So if you go to the app service, what of the app service is there, out of the app services are there. I believe I touched the app service a bit. I think I deleted and I represented again. Maybe the deployment is pending. Let me redeploy one more time. Sorry. Let me redeploy one more time. So the jump host out of the jump host you are using is the one AZ-VM. Let me start this VM and let me redeploy the content to the primary and secondary. Okay. Then we will think about the database problem. That is where exactly we'll start our part. Okay. Let's wait for a few seconds. I think by that time it should be okay. But whatever the app services are there at this moment, I think those were newly provisioned again, because to save the cost as part of the infra, I just deleted those things for this gap. Okay. Okay. So if you just come to the app services, so here are the app services. I believe at this moment, I think what are the app services are there in the Singapore and the Hong Kong. I think those app services are completely empty, just having the runtime environments only. That thing I think you can notice here. The moment when you click on this one, see, you can sense it. So it's a default deployment, nothing new, right? But actually we have noticed the application error. So it's the same thing I'm just trying to simulate. Just give me a second. Okay. So you just come back here. Where is this one? Yeah, I think VM is app. Sorry, VM is app. Okay. Yeah, VM is app. Okay, let's go to the terminal team. Let's go to the terminal. So once you go to the terminal, yeah, I think same thing. Just put one up arrow. I think it will be connected. And I'm just giving the password over there. Okay, once you have the password, okay, I'm just going for the history. Okay, history. I'm just taking the command. Okay, later I will show you, team, how exactly you can make use of this particular command by using Docker containers when the Docker concept comes. Okay. Until then, we'll go in this particular way. That's fine. So now, once you are done with this particular thing, now what exactly we need to do? You just come here. Okay, your agent is up. Now I'm just going for the DevOps model, our DevOps portal, so that I can make the quick deployment. Quick deployment. Okay. Just go back or just go for the pipelines and go for the releases. Okay. So once you are here, see, I think it is making the deployment to the primary and the secondary. But the problem, team, we already noticed the problem in the last session. The problem here is this particular app service is unable to connect to the database. Point to be noted, you guys really provide which database it needs to connect? No, you have not mentioned that. Correct, right, team? You have not mentioned which database they need to connect, right? So that is the main problem, I can say. Okay, that is the main problem, team. See, the problem here is, whatever the database is already sitting here, this database information you have not given to app service. That's a problem, team. Okay. So what you need to do, your goal is you need to make sure your DB details are well known to your app service. That is a gap exactly here. Okay. Forget about Vnet integration. First, you should tell to your app services what is your database. That is missing, team. Okay, to just mention that one, that's exactly the error we just saw in our last class, which is some unable to resolve the host. That exception came. Okay, now let's go to the DevOps portal, whatever the DevOps portal we have. Now you may get one doubt. Okay, if it is unable to resolve the host, meaning that some host it is referring, right? But we have not given any kind of MySQL server names and all. From where it is referring then? You should get this idea. From where it is referring. So that also. See, if you notice this particular Spring Boot property stream, especially spring.datasource.url, this is the JDBC connection for the Spring Boot applications. If you go there, JDBC MySQL, if they provided any variable as an environment for RDS underscore host name, use that. If they don't provide, use the host as MySQL. If they provide environment variable RDS underscore port, use that. If they don't provide, use 3306. If they provide our database name in the RDS underscore DB underscore name, use that. If they don't provide, use Todos. If they provide something in the RDS underscore username, use this one. RDS underscore password, use this one. If they provide these variables, you can make use. But the problem, unfortunate thing is, I have not passed any of these variables. Instead, that application is picking up these are the major things. MySQL, 3306, Todos user, dummy Todos. That's a default connection. You know why developers will have these kind of connections, team? The reason for that one is, usually they will not set any kind of environment variables when they are working locally. When they are working locally, they will not set any environment variables. Obviously, if you build this application, this one will help you. Since he has not defined anything, local MySQL, local 3306, local database, local username, local password. That is how exactly they just want to present this. Then what should we do? But when we are deploying into the environments, RDS hostname, RDS port, RDS DB name, these things. But you should aware, right? How exactly we need to deal the case. Now, what exactly I'm going to show you here, team. You go to your app service. Definitely app service will throw some application error only. Even after you wait for some time, the same thing will come up, okay? That is what we have noticed in the last session. Now you go to configuration team. Here one interesting thing you need to do. Under the configuration, you need to pass your environment variables. That part is missing here. That is the part exactly missing. Okay, let's open the application settings one by one. One by one we'll open team. Okay. So now what we need to do. So the firstly, I think let's open this particular database. What are the database we provisioned already? You go to the database. Okay, you just come to the database. So once you come to the database, okay, our MySQL database, what are the MySQL database you have? Oh, just open this particular thing. Okay, so just pick this one. So I believe this is already available. That's really good. Available means running. There is a server name team. This is the server name exactly you need to play with. But what is the variable I need to pass? That one you can refer from your program. So this is the variable exactly you need to use a RDS underscore host name. You just copy the RDS underscore host name team. You just come here, RDS underscore host name, there the value is coming up as or something, right? So RDS underscore host name. Now you go to the RDS database, what are the database you have. You just go to the overview, just come to the server name, copy the server name, you just come to the primary and just give this particular value, just go there, click OK. That's all team. That's all you need to pass the environment variables. Okay, I passed one variable. Okay, what about the other things? You need to pass one by one. Okay, what is another one? Other variable is RDS underscore port. We just come here RDS underscore port. I just come here RDS underscore port. Always the port will listen MySQL is a 3306. That's a default port only. You can give the same thing. Okay, just go for the application settings. Next one, RDS underscore database name. But I don't create any database, right? So you need to create the database also inside the MySQL server team. That is also your responsibility. So it is asking Todos as one of the database. Okay, just create that one. And there is one more you can sense it, okay, which is a RDS underscore username, which is a Todos underscore user, okay, something like that. Now I'm just coming back to this one. I'm just creating one more. You just come here RDS underscore username. I believe I have given the username as GPadmin. I'm just getting the same thing. And one more. Okay, just go for the application setting. There is one more thing called password. If you come to the password team, RDS underscore password is the one exactly you can sense it. You just come here, there you can just come here, just place over there. RDS underscore password is the one exactly you are looking at this moment. So what is the RDS underscore password? The password whatever you set, especially when you are generating choosing your database, that's the one exactly you need to provide. I just passed the password also here and click OK. Once you provide all the details, just save it. Continue. Once you are done with this passing environment variables, especially from the configuration, the activity what you need to do is you go back to the release pipeline one more time team. Please redeploy the content. Okay, don't wait for start and start. Just better go for the redeployment. That's what my suggestion. Okay, just go for the create release one more time. Just go there and click create. That's all you need to do. So now again you are making a fresh deployments to this particular primary, and the secondary is the one exactly you are sensing at this moment. So let's wait for that, and we can just wait for a few seconds. I think by the time the deployment should be fine. Okay, now if you see this one team, this is what your app service primary and app service secondary. So let's go to the architecture first. Let's go to the architecture. What exactly we achieved? We achieved these deployments. What are the deployments we are making to this particular thing? That is what exactly we are trying to achieve. I believe that should be fine by this time. So that is what exactly the thing we are. Perfectly alright, team. Perfectly alright. Now, once you are done with this activity, okay, what exactly the things still pending, team? So that one also you need to think a bit, okay? You need to think a bit. Now once, just a moment, let me also make some size here so that visibility will be really good. FD standard, this name is FD standard model we consider. So there is a difference, team. Okay, let me explain the premium also a bit later. But the FD standard is the one which we consider. I think there is a drawback with the FD standard. Let me explain that one. Okay. Now team. Now we know very well that when it comes to the primary, I believe our deployment should be fine by this time. I think so. Okay, both are succeeded. Now let's go to the deployments. Once you go to the deployments team, Okay, once you go to the deployment, where is our deployment? Yeah, this is the primary deployment. Once you go to the primary deployment, there you are seeing an endpoint, right? Just click on that endpoint, team. Okay. Yeah, click on the endpoint. The moment when you click on the endpoint, still it is referring our default connection only. This is the default page which usually we will see, team. Okay, you need to wait for a few more seconds maybe, then only it will give the best one for us. Okay, let's wait for it. All right. Now, what I want to convey to you here is there is Azure Friend Door. You are seeing Azure Friend Door, right, team? Azure Friend Door. Where is Azure Friend Door? So what from the diagram, we are seeing Azure Friend Door is connected to the app server. You know very well that how you can tightly form the connection. You know that. What you will do, usually you will go for the restriction area, especially on the app service, or you will go the FDID. That is what we have seen in our previous project, right? That is what exactly you are just whitelisting the friend door over there. That is what exactly you are just doing. But even such a situation also sometimes may not be really safe. The reason for that one is, as an exploiter or a man in the middle, if he knows your FDID, right? FDID, obviously he can easily communicate with your app service. A man in the middle. Obviously he knows because we are whitelisting the FDID over there, so he can easily connect to that. Again, to improve the security furthermore, no, you want more and more security. I want to keep the best security in between. Then you need to refer FD Premium. So FD Premium is the one. FD Premium is the one which will help us to have this particular connection is completely a private connection. No one can enter into this particular connection. Okay. In the previous project, what we did was it's a whitelisting. It's a whitelisting. Whitelisting means you are just telling app service, hey, I am the person only can access your backend. Is the one exactly you are making sure. But what exactly I am telling here, to improve the security, you can refer the FD Premium. But remember one point. FD Premium will cost you $330 per month, team. This is very costly component, okay? Very costly component. You know what FD Standard is costing you? It will charge you $30. So that's the difference between these two, okay? So you need to explain this thing to your client also whenever it is necessary. Otherwise, you know what will happen? You simply use FD Premium because it's giving best security. All of a sudden, maybe you may require some 10 load balancers in your company, maybe different project. For all the things you are using FD Premium, obviously you will be end up with some 3000 bill. Okay, it's a very big amount. Okay, so you need to act bit smart here. You need to get the suggestion from the client. If he's okay, then only we will allow the FD Premium. Otherwise, no entry for the FD Premium team. Okay. Fine. So let's make sure first our application is up and running. Then I will show you the connection with the FD Premium. Okay, let's wait for a while, team. Because our deployments are not so good so far. Okay, just wait for a while. Oh, one more interesting thing, especially you missed out. I'll tell what is that. If you go to the app service primary configuration team, there you have given especially one particular database name, that is to-dos. Correct? You have given the database name as to-dos. If you see this one, to-dos is the database name exactly you are giving. But the point is, this is the expectation actually. But the point is, you have not created the to-dos database. You have not created the to-dos database team. Then what should we do? You should create the to-dos database. How? You go to the MySQL database. So you don't need to have a DB where and all. So straight away you can create a database here, team. Okay, that's exactly the advantage you can see. Go to the databases. Click on the databases, team. Once you click on the databases, okay. Once you click on the databases, there click on add button. See, on the server we are adding databases. That is what exactly you are seeing on the screen, team. Okay. I'm just giving the to-dos. Just give that one. You don't need to change anything. Just give the database as to-dos. That's all. This is also part is missing. Usually you will get an error if that is not there, because it will tell this time database is not there. But the point here is, team, so far I think we are trying to make a connection from app service to this particular database, but definitely connection will not be formed because Vnet, because this is inside the virtual network, but you are sitting outside. You are trying to make a connection from outside to internal database. That is impossible, team. That is impossible until and unless you have some connections. Alright, I believe it is still struggling. Okay, let's wait for a moment. Maybe I'll give the endpoint to you also. You just double check this one. Just a moment. You can try this one, team. Whatever is there, just try. If something comes up, let me know. Error, whatever the error comes up, let me know.
Dinesh, we have changed our database name to Todos. So what is that exactly? Can you repeat once again?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So what exactly the thing happening here, Praveen? If you refer the repository, the developer is trying to connect to the database called Todos. That is what the developer is trying to connect. Okay. But unfortunately, we have not made that particular Todos available. You got it. By default, he is connecting to the Todos. Example, I'm just telling you. Okay, forget about by default. Even in your environment also, you should connect to some database, right? See, in Postgres, by default, you will connect to the database called Postgres team. By default, you will connect to the Postgres. There is a database. But in MySQL, you need to create a database. That's the database exactly we created as Todos. But why only Todos? The Todos is the one exactly the program is expecting. How I know program is expecting? Because I saw the code, that's why I know that one exactly they are expecting a database called Todos. Okay. If you go, there is some Pojo clause is to do. So this is what exactly your database columns and table exactly it is referring. So from here you will understand. But to be frank, you no need to have what database, what table you need to create. Okay, that one will be informed from your developer team. Okay, don't worry on that because that sort of knowledge obviously we will not get as a DevOps engineer. But you need to understand that one from the developer only. Developer will inform you, Praveen. Okay, don't worry on that. That's not your call. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so let's try one more time, team. I believe why it is taking time, I don't know. Let me see. Is there any problem is coming up here? Maybe I'll just scale up the app service plan to just make this particular process a bit fast. Maybe I'll just scale up the app service plan also because the site is too slow actually for me. Or let me go there to the app service plan team. Here is the app service plan which is running with the B1. Let me make that one to the next level. Okay. There I'm just going for the scale up process. What are the scale ups are there? I'm just going for the next scale up team. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going for maybe the basic B2 I'm just going for. I'm just selecting that one. Okay. And the same way the secondary one also I will try to change. Okay. We have the secondary one also. We just go to the secondary and secondary app service plan. What are the app service plan we have? Because this is sitting in the East Asia, right? You know that. This is sitting in the East Asia. Both are not the same service plan. This is different. The pricing plan B1 is the one exactly it is showing. Oh, sorry. I think you already came to the pricing plan. You just click on the say scale up. So once you click on the scale up team, okay. It's loading. Okay, I think it's loaded. Just go into the basic B2 team. Okay, that's all. So it's updated. Okay, maybe the things will be at least a bit fast. Okay, that's the only expectation I have. Because it's too slow. Okay, let me go to the logs and we'll see what exactly the logs are throwing us to. Okay, that one also we can verify parallelly. So for example, I'm just going with the app service primary, especially. Just go for the log stream. We have a log stream which is coming up here, right? So just go for the log stream.
It's getting application error, Dinesh.
Oh, it's got it? Okay, that's good. Okay, at least that's fine. Some error thrown means okay at least. Okay, I don't know why it is still showing loading for me. We already got the application error.
Yeah, me too. I got application.
Okay, I think maybe my network issue. Maybe it's slow, too slow actually. Or just to wait for a second. Just wait for a second. So meanwhile, I believe we can go for the app service primary. I think you can see, you can check the log here, team. Okay, you can check the log. What is the problem this time? Okay, this time the problem is, okay, if you see the error messages here, team, okay, if you see the error messages, I think clearly you can notice, okay, what exactly the thing is happening. This is app service booting up. That is the command exactly usually they will do, and followed by I think it's error already started somewhere here, okay. App service, I think Java-based.NET, okay, it's error only. Some exception thrown already, okay. So just scroll down. Is there any other clue? We have some error thrown already, but I don't see the clear-cut information here. Just scroll down. Yes, I'm seeing something. You see, Java.unknown host exception again. But team, is this our server name or not? You just tell me. It's our server name, right? So meaning that our database server name being picked up. But unfortunately, your app service is unable to make the connection. That's the problem now. Now, you know what should we do, team? You just go to the app service primary. You just go to the primary, whatever the app service you have, just go to the primary. There you can see the part called networking, right? Just go to the networking team. Once you go to the networking team, so especially you can see one particular field here as Vnet integration. If you don't see any of the feature as Vnet integration, so meaning that whatever the plan you are running, that is not eligible to have the Vnet integration. So now what should we do? Because Vnet integration is not available for me here. So that's a problem again. One more problem I'm noticing. Okay. Just a second. Yeah, sorry. I think it's been placed at the bottom. Oh, here I'm seeing. See, team, sometimes if you don't see anything, that could be the plan issue. Okay. You may need to upgrade to the next level, then only you will see. But I can see under the B2. B2 I can see. Okay, click on the Vnet integration team. See, the name itself is clearly telling you it's outbound traffic, okay? Where exactly your app service outbound traffic should go. You click on the Vnet integration. Once you click on the Vnet integration, add the Vnet. Once you come to the Vnet, there's a subscription and special to the virtual network where you are seeing. Now tell me, team, which virtual network I should select now? Which virtual network I should select? So basically, you know the problem, right? You have one problem already. That particular problem is, so whatever the virtual network you created. So what exactly your goal? You just come here. The moment when you are here, right? So there is an app service. Which is sitting here. This is what exactly you are trying to make a connection, correct? This is what exactly you are trying to make a connection to the HK Vnet. Point to be remembered, huh? To the HK Vnet. So this is the interesting thing which you should understand here. Okay, but the point is you should have this Vnet ready to just host that particular integration, right? So that is also we should take care. Now the moment when you click on this particular virtual network, so under the Azure subscription, I'm seeing the virtual networks. These are the virtual network. Only 3 virtual networks I'm seeing, but I'm missing our HK one. Let's go back and double check one small thing. Is there anything happened to that? Just a second. Let's double check that one thing. Just a minute. Okay, I just want to confirm one thing. Vnet virtual network. There is a East Asia virtual network which you created yesterday. At the runtime we created, right? ADO. I believe this is the one exactly we created at the runtime yesterday. I believe ADO 201 Vnet 797, right? I believe so. So this is the one exactly. If you notice the address space also, you can clearly understand this one. Okay. DB subnet. This is correct. This is the one exactly we used. Okay. Team, there is a problem. Now I believe the problem here is your app service, whatever the app service you have, this app service is sitting in Singapore, but your database is sitting in Hong Kong. That's exactly the problem I'm noticing now. Okay, that's exactly the problem. That is the reason even you don't see any of the virtual network with respect to the Hong Kong. So now what exactly we need to see here. I'm going to give you the solution one more time. So there is again one more flaw here, team. Okay, this architecture little bit change one more. This is Singapore component. Singapore component cannot connect to your Hong Kong database. The reason is Azure is not allowing you to have the Vnet integration across regions. So that's the problem now. So since app service is not getting connected to the HK Vnet, this Vnet integration not possible. To be frank, not possible. Then what should we do? I will give you the technique what you need to follow now. Just stay tuned. One more add-on I'm just adding here. I'm just bringing this particular, I'm just bringing this particular connection to this side a bit. Keep the database here and HK Vnet is also here. So far good. I am not changing anything as wrong. And whatever Singapore, we have a Singapore Vnet ready, right? Now what exactly my plan here is, let me bring up my Singapore, Vnet specially, okay? My Singapore Vnet here in between I'm just bringing up now, okay? Now I'm just changing the Vnet integration connection a bit here. Vnet integration connection I'm going to change to Singapore. I'm changing the Vnet integration to Singapore team. The moment when you change the Vnet integration to Singapore, you are absolutely fine. That is easy to do that also. Okay, that's the first thing, because Singapore can connect each other. There I will form peering between Singapore and Hong Kong. This particular one region to another region, this peering is possible. But the only problem here is, it is a Vnet integration don't have that capability. So that's the only problem I'm noticing now. Now I'm just giving this particular Vnet integration, which we need to prove now. Let's go to the app service team. Let's go to the web service, whatever the app service. Click on the add Vnet. Now I'm just adding the Vnet team. Okay. Now go for the Azure subscription. Just open the network. Here is the one exactly. This is your Singapore one, right? I think so. Correct, right? I believe we are in the same place. Right, this is the one exactly we created, AZ-Vnet, right? Any other? Oh, sorry, let me double check. Let me double check this particular thing. Okay. So you can go to the virtual machine, you can check the virtual machine Vnet team. Okay, you can get the virtual machine Vnet. If you go to the virtual machine AZ-VM, there you can see the Vnet corresponding to that. Now, if you just come here, so now we can see that particular virtual network as AZ-VM Vnet, right? This is the one exactly I'm talking about. So AZ-VM Vnet, okay, not AZ-Vnet, it's AZ-VM Vnet. I believe this is exactly the VM, right? This is the VM exactly we are using today, right? I think it's all not running. That's correct. Okay, AZ-VM Vnet is the one exactly the thing which you are playing. Let me double check. Just a moment. Okay. Just a second. Oh, sorry. This is not your project VM, right? I believe your project VM. What exactly your project VM team? So is it the same project VM you are using, or we haven't chosen any project VM? Oh, AZ-VM jump. Oh, sorry. I believe this is the one. Sorry. I think small correction here. AZ-Vnet is the one. I think we divided our Vnet into subnets, right? That is the one I'm looking for, team. Okay, I think this is the one. So AZ-Vnet is the right one. I think here is exactly the thing we did. Yes, correct. AZ-Vnet is the right one, team. You go to Vnet integration, AZ-Vnet is the one. I don't think so you have existing subnets. Of course, there is a add subnet is there. I'm taking the add subnetting. I'm picking up that because I kept that one for additional backup only. Just after selecting that, click OK. So now what connection you exactly establish, you tell me now, team. You are trying to connect your app service with your Singapore region virtual network. That's perfectly alright. Now what is still pending? What is your goal? Your goal is you need to make a connection from this particular app service to the database. Now if you can form the pairing between these two, your communication is completely fine, team. That is what exactly I'm looking for. Okay, that is what exactly I'm looking for. Let me do one small thing. Let me bring this one here so that I think things are very easy to discuss. Okay, let me bring this one here. Things are very easy to discuss. I think we can feel more comfortable when it is here, team. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is the one exactly I'm talking about. This is the one exactly I'm talking about. Okay. Now keep this particular virtual machine. We keep the virtual machine here, and this is the one exactly Okay, and I'm just keeping this particular Vnet integration. Okay, keep the Vnet integration here. Okay, so far okay. Now exactly the thing here is the one exactly we need to make a connection. Okay, we need to make a connection. I'm just bringing the connections very clearly to you so that you will get a very good idea. Okay, this is Hong Kong region. Okay, HK Vnet. Perfectly all right, team. Now you need to form a pairing between these two. That is the pending thing exactly for now. Now how to form this particular thing? Now we will see, team. Now you go back here. So for Vnet integration is okay. Vnet integration doesn't completely help us to form a connection, team. You need to have pairing also. Now we are going for the pairing, Vnet pairing, okay? Vnet pairing. So to do the Vnet pairing, again you can come for the pairings area, or you go to any virtual network. Whatever the virtual network you are playing up with today, there is a virtual network which you just played up, right? So especially, I think there is a virtual network called AZ-Vnet, right? So this is the virtual network, exactly our Singapore region virtual network. Now we are going to make a pairing for this virtual network with Hong Kong virtual network. You just come here, they add a pairing. The moment when you click on add, it is asking one pairing link, okay? SG Vnet to HK Vnet or something like that, okay? So I'm just providing both the connections, so that's the only thing, okay? There is no any specific thing you need to follow, just for our better understanding, okay? So now what exactly the thing? I think I'm just using the same thing over there and followed by, no need to change anything, team. But you need to select your destination. What is my destination? My destination is C. My Hong Kong is getting listed here. This is my Hong Kong. That's an interesting thing, okay? Now, I believe they added the new options here, team. Okay, I don't see these options earlier. I think they have added these options. Just anyway, let me double check one more time. Allow access to current virtual network. Allow traffic to current virtual network. Okay, I believe, okay. So better, I'm allowing the traffic also. Traffic forward to the remote, allow gateway transit. Use remote virtual network gateway or router also. This is not really needed. But I'm just allowing the access and the traffic, team. So those two are the things exactly I'm just picking up. And followed by, you don't need to do any other thing, just click on add. Two entries being triggered. Why two? One pairing from one side, another pairing from other side. That is the thing exactly will happen here, team. Wait for a while. By the time it should be fine, okay? You need to wait for a while. So it's got connected already. From Singapore to HK got connected. If you go to the HK side, there also, if you go for the pairings, here also it got connected. Perfectly alright, team. Now you know what you achieved, team. Now you formed a Vnet pairing exactly between these two networks. You formed a Vnet pairing. That is the thing exactly you achieved. That's really good. So now once you form the Vnet pairing, team, okay? Once you form the Vnet pairing, what exactly? I'm just giving the name here, huh? Vnet pairing, okay? That is the thing exactly I provided. Okay, I'm just improving the size a bit. Sorry, it should be fine. Okay, I'm just giving over there, and especially I'm just keeping on the board so that you will understand it's a Vnet pairing. Okay, team. Okay, perfectly all right. Now I believe I am done with my deployments and the connections. Now let's go there. Let's try to restart this particular app service, or we'll make the deployment as a fresh one more time, so that the things should be okay this time. So that is what exactly I'm looking for, team. Okay, just go for the releases. Team. So once you go for the releases, I think that is the one exactly. We just need to, I think I'm just creating a release. Once you create a release, just click on create. That's all, team. Okay. Now we will make the deployment one more time, team. I believe the moment one this time, I think should be fine. I believe I don't see any other flaw, especially over there at this particular moment. I think should be fine. Okay, that is the thing we will notice. Perfect, right? So this is being deployed. Now we will go to our endpoints and we will try to play. The moment when you're trying to reload, I think should be fine. That is what actually I'm also looking for. This time I should get the proper error. I don't see any other missing parts. But let's see and let's prove this particular.
Thank you for the session. See you in the next part.